Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Aquarians, let's do a quick peek at maybe anything for the weekend. Hang on. We have out to sea, and Taurus got the exact same. Hang on. I feel like I want to go one more time. We have here and now. Okay, so we start out with the energy of it might be that if Aquarius is taking a little bit of a trip, it might be just right. They might be really listening closely to where they need to go. Even if it's a walk around the block, they're like, you know what? This is exactly where I'm supposed to go. Or this is exactly the restaurant I'm supposed to go to. Or this is exactly the little weekend getaway. To me, it feels like a weekend getaway. It feels like some little tiny, I need to be here and I need to be present and I need to be right in this moment. And it says to like really stay present, perhaps, for the duration of that weekend. If we're going to put an effort to go somewhere, do something, it says, even if it doesn't feel super awesome at first, like really soak up the environment. We keep seeing maybe someplace in nature or someplace where there's a lot more beauty to be had. But if we're too focused internally, we might miss out on all the gorgeousness that is around us. And we might miss out on the reason we went there in the first place. There's a purpose for Aquarius to be ending up where they are in this timeline, is what it says. And it is because it represents a brand new beginning. That means Aquarius could meet somebody new. They could, even if this is like, oh, I'm going to drive across town to go to a grocery store I don't usually go to. I'm going to say I'm going to go to the international marketplace. I don't know why, but that's what it comes up in my mind as. But it's like, maybe they're supposed to go there. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe this represents like, wow, I just got introduced to like totally new foods, and now this becomes like a part of my diet, and I start cooking differently, or I take a cooking class and I start completely changing over my interests, my hobbies, my diet, and then I'm making a plan for later on. I want to go to the place that, the culture that has this food that I learned about while I was at that grocery store. Sometimes one little thing can spark an entire, almost like lifetime of other choices, is what this says. We have a Five of Cups in the reverse and a Knight of Pentacles upright. There's going to be far-reaching consequences, all of which will add light and enjoyment into Aquarius's life. But it begins with doing something a little out of the ordinary, trying something a little different, tasting different food, going to the same old restaurant, but ordering something different. Doing something different yields a completely different outcome, and it starts to shift Aquarius's palette or life experiences, and it keeps adding value. If this is about a location, a place, a restaurant, they could meet a new person. Any way we slice it, it's something different. This is a moment where Aquarius's life is about to take a wonderful turn, and it seems like it's coming from a fairly simple, unexpectedly experience. But look at this. It's the keys that unlock the next chapter. It's all because Aquarius is listening closely, I think, to whatever sorry, my hair itches my face and chin. They listen to their higher self. This is the Hierophant in any other deck. Here they call him the High Priest, but it's still card 5. It's strong Taurus energy in the major arcana. Those keys that unlock the mystery of, how did I know I'm supposed to go here and do this? How did I know this? Just because it's the innermost self that is guiding oneself. We have a Four of Swords. This is guiding Aquarius through some healing as well. Okay, so can I see what this actually is? Because we're kind of being cryptic about it. We see it keeps feeling like travel, a trip, an adventure. I mean, maybe somebody's going to adopt a dog, a white fluffy dog, or after this experience, they'll say, I need to get a dog. I mean, that's a life-changing experience. But we have a Nine of Swords in the reverse. Whatever this action is going to alleviate a lot of stress and tension in Aquarius's world or mind or heart. They could be meeting a romantic partner of a lifetime. They could find that they bump into somebody, encounter somebody, meet somebody who is a really great, really beautiful match. This feels like Aquarius's like lonely days are over. Maybe let me think, or let me ask, what was the energy that preceded that out to sea card? 10 of Swords. So Aquarius has gone through an ending. We have a Two of Wands. They've been wondering what the next chapter of their life looks like. And we have the World card, Capricorn energy. And they've decided, maybe that's what sparks this. Like, hey, you know what? I've had an ending in some other connection of my life. I don't really know what comes next, but I kind of feel like I should change up my routine if I want to bring in new energy. If I want to, this starts out with Aquarius already on the energy of like the willingness for them to change their life. That's already a part of them. They've already gone through a big change. Now they're wondering what comes next, and they're brave enough and willing enough to kind of say, well, let me lean into this. Let me just see where this might take me. Let me just kind of see what happens here. I mean, I don't know, but maybe I should go ahead and change something up. I don't want to go to the same old restaurants I used to go to with an ex. So I'm not. I'm going to actually, even if I loved that food, I'm going to abandon that and I'm going to go someplace totally new. And it's like, that's where they meet a whole new person. I'm picturing somebody could meet a waiter, an owner, a manager of a restaurant. I'm picturing they could, like I said before, like go shopping for food, go to a grocery store that they would not normally, have a conversation with somebody, maybe just a patron of the grocery store who happens to have some insight into some different items that, I don't know, maybe Aquarius is going to be, it's all new. That's why I'm like, they could be shopping for different food, eating at different restaurants, changing the staples of their life is basically what I'm getting at. And it seems like a simple thing, going to a different grocery store. How is that so mind boggling? Because it represents the change. And this storyline says sometimes it doesn't take us doing something drastic, like moving to another culture, moving to a different country to have massive change in our life. But what's ironic is tiny change could lead to something as massive as that. Whoever this is that Aquarius meets, by the way, they could be Gemini, they could be Aries, they could be Taurus, but whomever this is could set them on a pathway that is so different in their life. So healing, so soothing, but also like it really opens up avenues of their life they never would have dreamed. And it might be like, if I hadn't broken up with that girlfriend, boyfriend, hadn't said, well, I don't want to shop in the same stores I used to because I might bump into them, so I'm going to go across town. If I hadn't made that little tiny change, I never would have met the person that I fall in love with, that now I'm immigrating to their country to go live in Spain by the sea. I never dreamed I would end up doing this. Look at, we got the death card. This is little things that could start even now, could lead to massive transformations in Aquarius's life. All of this represents new chapters are beginning with very simple, tiny actions. And it is after a very big, a Ten of Swords is ugly. It's a heartbreak, it's pain, it's hurt. But it's after that pain and hurt that, that sometimes is why we start to do things differently, because it's like, gosh, that sucked. I just want to do things different from here on out. Four of Swords. The desire behind, or the motive behind all of these, like getting the ball rolling in this different direction, is that Aquarius wants to heal. They are already in control of like advocating for themselves. I want to heal. I don't want to be stuck in hurt and pain. I know it's no good for me. I know I should do other things. So let me just not live in the past. Let me just try to keep, doing things a little different, moving forward, taking actions a little bit differently, because I really do believe in a good outcome for myself, even if I know that I still got some healing to do. But it's that attitude that motivates Aquarius to go ahead and make these changes. Tell me just about this seemingly brand new person with the Lovers card. I only read this deck upright because there's already two meanings on each of the cards. We have a King and a Queen of Cups. Man, oh man, maybe they go to a new gym, or maybe they start working out. This looks like they could be a personal fitness instructor. Wow. The Tower to the Star. This is such a cohesive story because it keeps saying what ended in Aquarius's life absolutely had to end. They might have thought that they had their tree of life all mapped out. They knew who they were going to be with, what romance they were going to have. And it turns out that was all wrong for them, that wasn't the right path. And although it all kind of gets taken away with that 10 of swords that we saw with the Tower, it is for Aquarius, because Aquarius was supposed to be on a different timeline. They were actually supposed to go down a different route. They're destined to be with some other person. This feels, I keep feeling like they're destined to like live in more than one country or culture as well, just because the star card can be a great distance. I almost think, as strange as it sounds, the life that didn't work out for Aquarius was completely wrong for them, even though at one point it seemed so completely right. But it was a far cry from where they're actually supposed to be. Their tree of life is in here. Maybe they had a like I'm picturing like a little teeny tiny, like those miniature like topiary trees, and it's like that's what Aquarius was thinking was their tree of life. It's like, oh no, darling, you've got like a huge baobab tree that's supposed to be your tree of life, or huge oak tree, or huge massive willow, or ponderosa pine. Like your tree of life is not some miniature topiary or teeny tiny bonsai tree, as beautiful as they are. Your tree of life, the way your life grows, is supposed to be huge. It's supposed to be muscular. It's supposed to be beautiful and profoundly balanced, and someone that really matches Aquarius. This is who their lover is. It does look like, I don't know, Aquarius could be like really petite and their upcoming partner is huge, or they're not petite, but their upcoming partner is still way bigger than they are. We see a size difference here. We see some kind of energy of like, I don't know if it's like they're going to meet somebody in the land of giants or something, but that's just a side note. For some reason, I'm picturing like I'm 6 feet tall and blonde. So, obviously I come from a family where we all look like me. And so we're all tall and blonde. And I'm picturing something like that for our character, like the land of giants. I don't know that they're going to be blonde necessarily, but it just comes across like that pops into my head. But maybe it's just because that's what I was raised around. I think that's why I always love dark hair and dark eyes, and it's so exotic and so gorgeous. And, it's funny how we all admire everything that we don't have, everything that is different. And it's like, oh, I love to see the differences. I'm much more drawn to that than I am to the blonde and the blue, because it's a whole family. Like we all look like this. So but whatever it is, if it's like Aquarius is short, maybe they're drawn to tall people. If Aquarius is tall, maybe they're drawn to short people. If they're, lighter coloring, maybe they're like me, they're drawn to darker coloring. If they're, it could be something like that. If we see an opposites attract aspect of that. So anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.